Today's budget tip is indeed about weddings. If you are planning a wedding in the near future, or have friends who are getting ready to engage with a wedding budget, this tip is for you. When Amanda and I did our wedding budget, we had a joint account of sorts for which we could spend on the wedding. If you have a joint account that you use for your wedding expenses and for your wedding budget, it's all tied together. It helps you communicate even more in a way that helps you basically train for your married life. When it comes to joint accounts versus separate accounts in marriage, I am a strong proponent of joint accounts, and I think the wedding budget is a great time to practice that. I'm a proponent of joint accounts because the number one indicator of a failing marriage is simply thinking that your spouse spends money foolishly. If you have separate accounts and you allow your money to kind of go and do its own things based on your own respective priorities, it's more likely, especially over time, that your spouse's spending starts to deviate from the way that you think would be wise. And if spending starts to deviate and you end up further off the same page from each other, well, that increases the likelihood that you hold some sort of silent thought against the way that your spouse spends money. If you have a joint account and you both go and spend a great deal of money at the same time without really communicating about it, you run the risk of overdrawing your checking account. And that's not necessarily healthy. So when you have the joint account, you have to communicate about what you're going to spend and when. You need a budget. And that budget is going to help you practice communicating about money. It's going to give you an opportunity, just like the wedding budget did for Amanda and I, where we could speak our values and what matters to us into the mutual spending from that account. Because spending, giving, and saving decisions then have to be made together in the budget, there's not much room to think that your spouse spends poorly because you vet out and agree on things as you go along. The Bible says it best. Whether you're a believer or not, I think that this wisdom is incredibly powerful. Where your treasure is, there your heart will lie also. If you can agree on where your treasure's going, if you can agree on where your money's going, then your hearts will grow together in that direction. Separate accounts put you at a higher risk for letting your treasure go into separate directions and letting your hearts grow apart.